about the guy, the husband going to pump his wife's gas. Can you do too much for your wife, right? Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Rome.
Hey, what up, man?
You know what, bro? I'm sorry to break it down, but that was a side chick, dude. The side chick treating him better than the actual wife. That's why you keep doing all that.
That was a side chick, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
I know.
Man.
Are you sure? You telling me that guys don't do that for their wives?
Oh, that side chick might be treating him better than the actual wife, dude. That's what people tell Lonche, like they say.
You're too much, man. You're too.
All righty, man. Take it easy. You have a good one, Rome.
All right, brother. Later, man. I mean, let me ask you a real question. Is it really that bad for you husbands? I mean, that guy, he's funny. It's a side chick, right? A man, well, as he says, is going farther for his side piece because she treats him better than the wife. If you polled every married person today, let's just say every married person in Bakersfield, do you think there are more wives that are treating their husband well, or more wives that are treating their husband poorly? If you had to guess, just is it 50-50? Is it 80-20? What would you say? Are there more wives treating their husbands good, or are there more wives treating their husbands bad? What would you guess? RD4254-7-7. Now, I don't need you women calling me up and saying, well, how does he treat her? That's not what I'm asking right now. I'm just curious, because we can have the conversation of how many men. We could have the same conversation with men, but then you have to have the conversation of who started it, right? So if you say, well, she treats him poorly because and poorly is probably too strong of a word, but she treats him poorly and he treats her poorly, but who started it first? You know, somebody had to start it first, right? When it comes to a marriage where you get who got complacent first, the man or the woman, the wife or the husband? Who's taking who for granted first, the wife or the husband? You know what I'm saying? But just think about that for a second. In Bakersfield, who do you think is doing a better job? More wives? More husbands? I mean, that's probably a better question. RD4254-7-7. Now that I just confused you. You sent me here, RD4254-7-7. Hey, Romeo, I have friends that treat the side pieces better than the wife. Well, but that's what I'm saying, right? At a certain point, that's why I asked the question. If you looked at all the marriages in Bakersfield, which one would you say, how many of them are happy versus not happy? And not happy is a little strong, but just not where it should be, or maybe not happy. Happy versus everything else. Let's put it to you like that. Because you get complacent with your wife, you get complacent with your husband. Now, when you say, these guys, why are these guys treating their side pieces better than their wives? And why do they have a side piece? Okay? So that would be my question. Who started it? Somebody had to start the problem, right? Somebody had to get complacent first to make the marriage the way it is. So do you think it's the man or the woman? Do you think it's the husband or the wife? What spouse do you think started treating their spouse a certain way, which created the issue of unhappy marriage? And when I say unhappy marriage, I'm not saying fighting. What I'm saying is, you wonder why you have friends that treat their side piece better than their wife. The side piece probably does everything he wants, right? So the side piece is probably doing a little more than the wife. Why? So based on this logic, and I'm not saying this is the way it is. Based on this logic, did he get the side piece because the wife stopped doing certain things that the side piece hasn't stopped doing? Or did your friends get a side piece and that's why the wife stopped doing everything that the side piece probably does? That's my question. It all has to start somewhere, right? You see people in public holding hands. You see people in public opening doors for each other. Or, or like I said, getting gas, pumping the gas, things like that. Those things are little things that you go out of way to show that you still care about your spouse, right? At what point, who do you think stops doing that? Who do you think stops doing it first? Husband or the wife? Which spouse? Because it's not always his fault. I mean, everybody wants to blame men. First of all, let's just blame the husband. It's not always the husband's fault. There's a lot of women out there who stop doing certain things because, I've been with him forever. I don't need to do that anymore. Well, maybe he likes it, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? He can do it himself. You get complacent. If you had to poll, and if you could take an honest poll, who do you think causes an unhappy marriage more? Husband or wife? RD42547. So what do you guys think? Who gets complacent first in a marriage? More, a husband or a wife, right? You talk about all these marriages, we were talking earlier about going too far for your wife. Can you? And some guys said no, some guys said yes, some guys had, some guys said, well, it's probably a side piece. Men treat their side pieces better than they treat their wives. Well, what happened in their marriage to where they went and got a side piece? You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at complacency in the marriage and go, well, who started it? Somebody had to start it. RD42547. Romeo, talking about being complacent, I want to know, how do I get my woman back to how she was or even so do I talk to her about it without hurting her feelings? We've been together 10 years, but around year 5, we took a break for about a year, and within that time, we still messed around, and she would try and get sexy for me. She'd put more effort in things, talking, but what she do for me, man, oh man, was like she was trying to win a gold medal. But anyways, yeah, just not the same. Not saying I'm perfect or anything, but I still put effort into our relationship. So what are you trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me that you were together, you've been together for 10 years, about the halfway mark, you took a break and she wanted you back, so she put in extra effort to get you back? Is that what you're trying to ask me? So what do you do to get her back to that point today? Isn't that the problem? We're trying to figure out, how do you get back to the phase of your relationship where you can't keep your hands off each other and you treat each other well, right? Here's what I'm going to say about that, okay? No matter what spouse you are, excuse me, no matter who you are, once you stop, you got to believe your partner's going to stop. Once you get complacent, your partner's going to get complacent, okay? What I would do, and this is what everybody should do, keep doing everything that you can or that you've always done to not be a complacent spouse, okay? Now, the problem with that for most men is they don't want to do it because they feel, oh my God, I'm trying all this and I'm just being taken advantage of, and their egos can't take it. Suck it up, champ. And I'll tell you why. Because at a certain point, when you're trying and being selfless toward your spouse as a man, and she's still complacent, you just might have to go, whether you want to or not. If you want to be happy in a marriage, you might have to leave that one and go find another one. But your egos can't handle it, so you just become complacent, and now your life sucks anyways. And that's why I say, a lot of you will say, well, Romeo, it's going to suck to leave my wife. Well, yeah, but it's going to suck to stay with her also. So wouldn't you at least want to try? You tried everything you could to be happy, and she's not going for it. You've tried everything you could to do too much and to take care of her and to make sure she wants you, and she's not going for it. It's time to go, man. And that goes for both spouses. Never stop doing it so that you're never the bad guy. Already 42547. So we were talking about, doing too much. I saw a guy, a woman sitting at a gas station. Guy pulls up in a truck, pumps her gas and rolls out, right? I just assume it's a husband helping out his wife, right? Doing too much for his wife. And I asked if you can do too much. Guy said, no, that wasn't his wife, Rome. It was probably his side piece. Well, and then somebody said, a lot of you guys treat your side pieces better than your wives. Well, why do you do that? There had to be a point in your marriage where things got complacent. You weren't getting the needs that you wanted met. She wasn't getting the needs that she wanted met. And now you're just where you are. You're both unhappy. I don't know if unhappy is the right word, but it's just not a happy marriage, so to speak, because of complacency. Somebody has to start that, right? That's what I would say. Is if we were going to guess in all the marriages in Bakersfield that are complacent marriages and not happy marriages, but just complacent and getting by, you're not getting what you want. She's not totally getting what she wants. It works both ways. Who do you think started it? Do you think more women started it or more men started it? Who do you think gets complacent first in a marriage? Already 42547, Rome. I think once the wife starts not wanting to have sex, the guy will just look for it elsewhere. Yeah, you might be right about that. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that will that. There's more guys out there that won't do that, by the way. I know what you're saying, but I believe in Bakersfield, there's more guys out there that will just not have sex with their wives than will go out and cheat on them. Only because it's just opportunity. There's a lot. Not every guy has the opportunity to do it. I mean, he just kind of accepts the marriage he's in. Some guys don't want to lose all their money. Some guys don't want to don't have the opportunity or ability to cheat, to find another woman while they're married. I mean, it's just so a lot. I would say less men have side pieces than men that do. Okay, so they just accept the fact that this is going to be their marriage, this is their lot in life, and just live with it. So I get what you're saying, but who started that? Like you said, at what point is it the wife's fault for not wanting to have sex with her husband? Do you think that's what happens more? Women just stop wanting to have sex with their husbands? And then all of a sudden, that's when the marriage gets complacent? Do you think that happens more often than the man causing it? Already 42547. We're talking about complacencies in a marriage, right? Who gets complacent first, which causes the marriage to just be complacent? Nobody gets what they want because, nobody cares anymore. Who do you think starts it? You would think, now I'm going to explain to you what, I'm going to explain this to you because some guys said this. He said it starts when the wife stops wanting to have sex with her husband. Okay. If you're going to put blame on somebody, which I'm going to right now, listen, ladies, because I'm going to blame you, but not for the reasons that you think. I think it's just a tough situation. So listen to my logic and you tell me what you think. This is how I think it happens. Okay. You and your husband, you start dating, can't keep your hands off each other. Everybody's catering to each other. Things progress. You're moving into the next phase of the relationship. And guys are still trying to be childish and, have sex with you, so to speak. And that's all it seems like they care about, right? And maybe it is all they care about. But as a woman, you want to make sure that he wants you for more than just sex, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So you start to change your attitude towards the relationship because you're thinking of marriage. You're thinking long-term. He may be as well. But in the back of his mind or in the front of his mind, he still just wants you for sex and everything else. You want him for everything else and sex. So everything else comes first now. You want him to love you for your mind and your personality and all these things that you guys can build together. Sex is kind of the second thing, but it's just a phase. Now, after you women have realized, hey, the guy wants me for everything. He doesn't just want me for sex. Now you're married. Now you got some life's hurdles thrown at you. And he's mad, the husband is mad because you wanted to make sure that he wanted you for sex. So you stopped and put all these other things in front of him. Okay? Go with me on this one, ladies. Now you've realized he doesn't just want me for sex. You're married, you're dealing with life, and he's checked out. Because men are like children. They're not getting enough sex. He's checked out. You're ready to start giving him all the sex he wants again, for the most part. But he's checked out, which makes you check out. And now it's just a vicious cycle of a complacent marriage, and you guys aren't happy. That's how I think it goes down. RD4254-7-7. Hey, Romeo, I think it's the man that gets complacent. He works too much, a lot of pressure on him, and his wife's not helping him out as much as... What? His wife's not helping him out? What do you mean by that? So you just said the man gets complacent first, but because the woman's not helping him out? Yeah, I don't understand that one. Rome, you say, what did you say here? You say leave, but it's not easy. We have kids, so what do you think about the whole state together, all staying together for the kids thing? I think that you're right. You're right. It's easy for me just to say leave, and I've said that in the past. It's easy for people to say that because you're not in that position. So you're absolutely right about that. About staying for the kids, I think that it is, well, let me tell you what Michael Bean always says. Michael Bean says, kids are always better with both parents. They grow up better with both parents, okay? But you have to keep that in a perspective, right? If you are always fighting, if you can stay together and be civil for the kids until the kids are grown and out of the house, then I think yes. If you can raise them as two adults who understand your relationship and that you're doing it for the kids and you're not, you're not fighting with each other, you're not degrading each other, you're doing what's best for your children, then yes. I agree with staying for the kids, okay? But on the flip side of that, if it's detrimental to the kids' mental health or your mental health, then no, I don't agree with staying for the kids. All right. Hey, Rome, how's she going to make me fall in love for a person that she ain't no more? Maybe girls mature more faster, but hey, all guys, well, most guys want sex. Want sex. Okay. That was autocorrect. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, all right. 84254-7-7. Let's see. What did you send me here? 84254-7-7. Damn, Rome, I'm convinced you don't know how to read. Well, come on, man. You got to cut me some slack with all these autocorrects and you got to understand when people text me, they're doing it in their car. They're using voice to text. Their autocorrect is on, so I get a bunch of nonsense. But hey, I didn't read that well anyway, so, you might be right. All right, 84254-7-7. Hey, Rome, how can you tell a couple to stay together for their kids? What if they don't like each other? Well, that's what I said, though. What I said was if staying together for your kids means causes them more harm than good, then you got to go. I'm not saying stay together just for the kids, even if it's detrimental to your own mental health or your own health. But statistically, children who have both parents in the house tend to turn out better. I'm not saying that you can't turn out well as a child who with a single parent or parents separated or parents divorced. I'm just saying statistically they turn out healthier, mentally healthier and better, okay? That's just statistics, okay? I don't know. Statistics can be skewed. But how many people you think stay together? How many women you think stay with their husbands for their children? There's probably, some of you are probably doing it right now. Is it necessarily a bad thing? I don't know. You might not be as happy, but I don't know. You know, busted up homes affect children pretty well. But like I said, once again, if it's detrimental to your well-being by staying in a relationship for your child, then leave. Okay? But if you can, work it out long enough to, raise your children, then leave, then do that.
Romeo, there's someone out there for everybody.
Okay.
And if you're not happy in a relationship and it's toxic, it's time to go. Those kids deserve to be happy. He deserves to be happy. She deserves to be happy. So, there's no use in sticking around if it's not working.
But every relationship that's not going well is not toxic.
Well, if it's an environment where you dread going to, then it's not worth sticking around,
Not even for the kids, huh?
I mean, for the kids, if you can try, but the same reason that you would try is the same reason you would leave, because if it's not working and they just see mom and dad fighting.
But that's what I'm saying. Not every relationship is like that. Not every relationship is toxic, is fighting. That's what I just said. I just said if it's breaking you down mentally, don't stay for the kids. But if you can coexist with them, then you should. Yeah, I'm okay with you staying for the kids until the kids are grown up.
But the statistics are kind of wrong, because 90% of us Raider fans grew up without both parents, and we turned out fine.
Yeah, just ask County.
We turned out just fine.
Actually. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm sure if we did that survey in Laredo, we'd get a different story. All I'm saying is, you people want to act like you can, for some reason, statistically, when both parents are in the house, it's better for the children. Okay. Why? I'm not necessarily sure, unless it's a toxic situation. But not all relationships. There are a lot of people right now in their marriages that aren't necessarily happy, but they're not fighting. They may not talk to each other as much as they used to, but they may be coexisting. But not every relationship where people aren't happy is a toxic relationship. Raider Dave just is a Raider fan, and so it's either one way with him. He's either in love or it's toxic. Dickie's here, Moyana Fitness. We work out with Dickie 4 days a week over at his cross training facility over off of Fruitville Avenue. Good morning, Dickie.
Hey, good morning.
Now let's talk a little bit about what the gym is at first. It is a class setting. It is a 50-minute class.
Yeah, it's group training. It's Monday through Thursday, so it's 4 days a week. Sessions are 50 minutes each. We limit every class to 20 people per class. And it's a combination of strength and conditioning. We focus on, obviously your strength, your cardio, and also your mobility, balance, things like that. It's all functional fitness to a higher level.
So. Yeah, it really is good. Even if you're not some sort of athlete, you got kids, you want to carry groceries, you want to work around the house.
Everybody's an athlete to a certain degree. We just got to find that degree.
Well, one of the problems is when you have this conversation, the first thing everybody thinks is CrossFit, or they think, and that's more, you got to be kind of a gymnastic type, kind of an athlete to do that type of workout. Right. Your workout for cross training is much more of an everyday person, just trying to be stronger, trying to be more balanced, trying to be fitter, trying to feel better, lose weight, maybe build some muscle. And the way that happens is you are not, I want to talk about the fact that they always say, as you get a little older, or just your body needs to lift weights, your body needs to move, your body needs to do things like that.
Correct.
And your class has so many different types of people in it at different ages, different levels. And you can do that with a group.
Yes, the nice thing about our group training and our system is that you can have a 16-year-old and a 70-year-old working out next to each other.
They can actually be partners,
which has happened before.
Yeah,
two different variations, intensity level. Some go high intensity, some low impact. you could come out of surgery or for something,
Yeah.
or postpartum, or whatever the case may be. There's a way to modify and scale a lot of the way we do our program. So it's not something you will get lost in the crowd. Kind of like, sometimes in the big box gym, I used to teach Group X, and
Yep.
you go in the back because you don't know what's going on. You're going left, everybody's going right.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen here because it's very structured and it's very simple to follow.
That is also one of the things you need to understand. It's very structured. So you know exactly what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah.
You have all your equipment when you get there.
Yeah.
One of the things that is great about it is the person next to you might be stronger than you. So they might be doing curls with 35s. You might be new to the class, still learning, or you might not, still working on, and you might be using 20s. And
Right.
you guys are getting the same workout. You're burning the same
workout,
calories. Yeah.
Same goal. Obviously everybody has a different goal, but it's built up to that, whether you're trying to, pack on a lot of muscle or just tone up. It's very different, but you can achieve it the same program that we do and the scalability.
Muliana Fitness, Dickie, they got to call you? How'd they get a hold of you?
Text me, 661-444-3635, and find out more about getting a week free trial. No strings attached. Just come out to see if it's something for you, and then we can go from there.
All right. So we got Dickie here talking about getting in shape, I know summer's coming and everybody goes, well, let's get in shape for summer. Well, I think we need to go a little bit more beyond that and just being in shape year round,
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about Dickie, because Dickie has a set class for Monday through Thursday. It's 50-minute sessions. You just program it into your lifestyle, into your schedule, and you get that exercise in.
Yeah, the nice thing is you don't have to do any online registration where, sometimes you get classes, sometimes you don't. You're guaranteed a class spot every day, and you can always crash other times, because life happens, Sometimes
Life does
you can't
happen.
make it in the morning, you can't in the afternoon, vice versa.
But now, the reason I say that is because we're not, you just got to stay. The problem is you see these meatheads or these fitness people on TikTok or whatever, and you go, I got to be like, no, you don't have to be like that. You just have to work out within your own abilities, stay healthy, stay in shape, so you can, play with your kids or, whatever the case may be. Do yard work. I don't give a damn what it is. But I mean, it's just one of those things that everybody looks online and they go, I got to be a fitness model. No, you don't. I can't do a damn pull-up, but yet I work out every day. I mean,
unfortunately, social media puts a lot of unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
What they don't see is how many years those fitness influencers had put in. And prior to them going on the platform, right?
Yeah.
So here we not only start you off, maybe you were an athlete in high school, maybe you're Al Bundy, you were scoring, 5 touchdowns in one game, but we start you back up, and then we start you with a basic nutrition program, and then we'll move up to a custom nutrition program, depending on what you're trying to do. That way, that's we all know nutrition is number one key to success, especially doing a weight loss.
Yep.
So we do that, and we get to bring the best athlete version of you at the current time.
Let's just talk real quick about some of the exercises. Obviously we do burpees, we do box jumps, we do curls.
So we do, a lot of plyometrics, trying to do that. And obviously if you cannot jump, you can always do step up, right?
Yes.
So there's a modification for that. We do a lot of free weights. That means a lot of dumbbell works. And I'm a big believer of, imbalance of trying to do, each arm has to balance itself out instead of using a lot of barbells, which is kind of, stability wise is different. We still do barbell works, but we do a lot of free weights. That way I have a girl that is strong in one arm, she's injured in the other arm, so she's got a 20 and a 5, right? So that can't happen with barbell. But we do your basic curls, chest presses, but you also do some of the similar stuff to CrossFit. You would do snatches, we do barbell cleans and thrusters. We do box jumps, we do jump ropes, we do a little bit of run here and there. Our runs are like 1/10 of a mile, so 160 meters. So the way we break it down is usually either a 5-rounder or a 10-rounder. and is scalability wise is very doable no matter what level you are at your fitness point.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things, or one of the great things, is some of it's timed. A lot of it's timed, so you don't ever get stuck. You don't ever get stuck on one thing trying to get it done because you're not good at one thing. So you're able to get everything in.
It's funny you say that. The reason why our program works the way it is because somebody did get stuck at one exercise years ago. We're in year 15. This is probably year 3. He got stuck for like 30 minutes on one exercise. I said, this has to get better. So we created this program.
That's hilarious. All right. Dickie, Moyana Fitness, you can check him out on the social medias. And what is the phone number again, Dickie?
661-444-3635, or check it out on Instagram or Moyana Fitness.
Dickie's here, Moyana Fitness. We've been working out with him for years now. He has a class a 50-minute cross-training class, 5 of them a day.
Yeah.
And you can choose one. You got your spot, you take your class, you build it into your schedule, so it's just like, anything else you do. You drop, the kids go to practice, you go work out. It's the same thing. Now, you are going to do something with kids. Now, this is very important, because kids today don't get as much exercise as they used to.
Right.
Some of your kids do, because you just throw them outside and they run around. But you're going to do something with kids and parents, or just kids?
So it's kids focus. Okay. So we're going to do, it's 2 days a week. It's Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
It's at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Now the kids are out of school.
Oh, yeah, they'll be out of school.
Everybody, you can let them sleep in a little and then, get up and do a little egg workout.
Yeah.
The one parent is encouraged to join them. You don't have to, but it is encouraged.
That's what I was going to say, because one of the things that I know is a lot of parents do love working or playing with their kids, and to combine that with a workout where they can do it together and both get a little healthier together is a great idea.
Yeah, I always say, always have a workout partner, somebody to keep each other accountability. What better way to have mom and kid, or dad and kid to go onto these classes? They're very simple. They're very basic. Obviously, the age range is from 5 years old to 12 years old. So
5 to 12.
More of the smaller kids, not so much of the junior high school kids. Right?
Yeah. So moms, if you're looking for something to do with your kids during the summer, it's a great opportunity. This is going to base
on structure on functional fitness camp, which is much different than just having a camp where they just have your kids run around and just waste time. To me, that's a waste of time. Yeah. They'll teach you how to properly do squats, properly do push-ups. Your basic stuff in the beginning, and then we gradually go on, and obviously the smaller kids is gonna have more body weight. Maybe the older kids can do some lighter weights as we progress on this. Mm-hmm. So, but it's only 30-minute sessions. It's twice a week. It gets you a routine and get your kids to learn how to properly do workouts and do functional fitness movement, things like that. Because I know my son he's coming on almost 6 years old, and he's learning all this stuff. You can see him on my Instagram. He does pretty good. I mean, he's sloppy. He's 5,
Well, yeah.
They have to learn in the early age and take precaution on proper form, things like that.
And it is a great time for you to spend a little bit of time with your kids, getting exercise and getting healthier. What's your phone number?
661-444-3635. And you'll also see this post later on today about the information for it.
I mean, it really is a great thing. And you got to understand, it's not one of these... It's not intense. I mean, if you want it to be intense, Dickie will yell at you. If you're that type of person, if you're just kind of laid back and you want to work out and you're not really an intense person, you're doing it for your own, Dickie will handle you in that manner as well.
Right.
Just to understand. Right. Some people everybody works out for a different reason.
Correct.
And you have to understand that. So Dickie does.
We're going to have a little fun, but we're also going to be strict on proper form, things like that. So the kids get a little taste of harsh reality, but at the same time, they're not going to cry going in, right? So you got to have a balance on that.
Like all the
and
adults.
Also the parents, if you decide to join in, you get a little workout, maybe not an intense workout like a normal class would be, because it is focused more on kids, but you get a workout regardless.
All right, Dickie, number again?
661-444-3635.
You can text him, you can call him, go to Instagram, check out Moyana Fitness, Dickie. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it.
I want to talk about this because I thought this was pretty interesting. So yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. He was talking about his kid. His son just graduated from high school. And I was asking him where his kid's going to go to college. And he says his kid's going out of state for college. And the kid, my buddy's kid, I won't say he's been sheltered because he hasn't been sheltered. But, he's lived at home his whole life. And now he's out. Now he's about to move out to go to college in another state away from his parents. And he was telling me how he gave him a list of things that he needed to know before he left. He goes, yeah, I think there was 15 or 20 things on it. I don't remember. The reason I don't remember is because I never saw the list. But I can't remember if he said he had 15 things on it or 20 things on it. And I never got to see the list. And I was kind of thinking about it later on last night. Like, what's on that list? Like, what? And when did, I don't know, when did kids start college? He's probably moving in August, probably. Maybe July, probably August, I think, early August. They're going to drive him out to wherever he's going to live. But what do you think is on this list? And I was trying to think about it myself. Like, what would if I was making a list of things that a young man needs to know before he goes to college, before he moves? I mean, he's literally moving out of his parents' house on his own. I mean, college dormitory, but it's still kind of on your own. But what would you put on that list? If you were making a list of things to teach your kid that your kid had to know before he or she moved out of the house, what would that be? And I was just thinking maybe how to cook, how to wash your clothes. Check the oil in your car, maybe. I don't think you need to know how to change a tire. Probably helps. Probably don't need to know how to change the oil. I was just trying to think of what could possibly be on this list. And to be honest with you, do you even need a list anymore? You can find everything on YouTube. You can look up everything on YouTube. Or you can AI it. How do I do this? What would you put on the list? If you were making a list for your 18-year-old son or daughter, they never lived on their own before. They're moving out. They're going to be out of your house. You're not even going to be close enough. What would you put on that list? Cook, clean, cook, I don't even know. I think he said he had 15 or 20 things on this list. I wish I would have got a copy of the list because it would have been easier for me to have this conversation with you. But what would you put, Mom and Dad? All right, 842-547-7. Some of you may have already made a list. Some of you may already be teaching your kids something because they're leaving for college. Or maybe they're moving out of the house.
Hey, Romeo. So I was trying to answer your question because I do have a kid that's going out of state to college.
Right now?
Yes, and they have been pretty sheltered.
Boy or girl?
It's a girl. So my list was a little bit different. My list involved things like teaching her how to navigate a party. So how to avoid certain situations.
Very good.
We actually did practice runs where I had bought these little glow-in-the-dark pills off of Amazon, and the game was how many pills can I flip in her drink without her noticing.
That's pretty smart. Absolutely. How did you get in?
I got in 5. And she was like, there's no way. I was holding my drink, and I said, yeah, and I was talking to you, and I was sliding pills in your drink. Because those type of things, unless you really been outside off the porch like that, you really don't deal with that. And so I had to let her know people do this. I had to teach her this is how you got to navigate certain stuff.
You're absolutely. I totally agree with you. Wow, but you got 5 in before she said anything.
She didn't didn't even realize. She was like, "What? Where did you put that one in?" And I was like, while we were talking, I was like, and I had told you to look over there or something. I said, and you looked, and I flipped two in at the same time.
That is hilarious. Oh, well, you're a good mom. You really are. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, what else you got?
Hey, listen, we can't play like these kids are not stepping out into the real world.
Well, back in the 90s.
The real world comes with people that do bad things.
I know.
And sometimes it's people that you went to the party with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not like the 90s where you guys could just be hoes.
Listen. I'm so glad we didn't have Snapchat back then.
And I just want to say a shout out to all those parents that are okay having their kids move out once they get to a certain age. Because I know some parents that they have their kids still living under the roof by the age around their 20s and 30s. And I don't think that's okay. But I just want to say a shout out to those parents that, you know, once they get to a certain age, they just let their kids to go ahead and move out. Because I know someone that has their 23-year-old daughter still living at their home, and it's not doing them a favor. Actually, it's just letting them freeload off the parents.
But is the daughter going to college or just living there?
No, she works. She works, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know what, it's time for her to move out of the house because she has to be independently. But yeah, she doesn't pay or anything. She doesn't pay bills or anything. The only thing she pays is her brand new car. That's about it. But she doesn't.
You sound like a hater.
Absolutely at all.
You sound like a hater. What do you care?
No, I mean, it's not a hater. It's like, you know, I mean, that was one of the... Oh, I'm not going to get into details, but I just want to say, you know, I just want to say shout out to those parents that, you know, let their kids to be independently, and that's good. That's good. That's teaching them what's out there in life.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. She sound like a hater, huh? Why are you mad? Because your parents kicked you out at 18? Anyway, RD4254-7-7. Hey, Romeo. If you gave your kid a list, it means you didn't raise them right. You got to teach them young, not last minute, especially when you know you're leaving out of your parents. Kids need to know most basic cooking before 18 months, unless it's a Mexican thing, which I doubt. Kids need to know most basic and cooking before 18 months? What does that even mean? Unless it's a Mexican thing, which I doubt. I don't understand what you mean. I don't believe that. I mean, if you give your kids a list of things like, you know, to do, to learn, you know, to know before they move out, how's that lady that just called and said that she wanted to teach her kid how to deal with party situations? I mean, okay, that's a list. That's something you need to know. You're going to start teaching your kid at 12 how to deal with party situations? I mean, I don't know exactly what you're trying to say here. I think just haters. I mean, first this girl calling me a hater because the kid's not out by 23. You're texting me being a hater, saying if you have to give your kid a list on things to learn before they move out, then you didn't raise them right. Why are you guys haters? You know? RD4254-7-7. If you were putting together a list of things to teach your high school graduate because they're going to college right now, they're out or they're moving out. Maybe they're just moving out. You know, do kids still want to move out when they graduate high school? Bro, we couldn't wait to move out when we graduated. We were trying to figure out who we were going to live with, how we were going to split the rent, who was going to get the big room and the small room. Yeah, I don't think kids do that anymore, do they? Anyway, that's another subject. But yeah, what would you put on that list? What do you want your kid to know before they're gone? So my buddy was telling me he put a list together. His son's going off to college out of state, and he put a list together of things his son should know before he leaves, right? I never saw the list, and I was thinking, I wonder what's on that list. What would you put on that list? Alrighty, 4254-7-7. Hey, Rome, I would tell him to wrap it up. Oh, yeah, wrap it up. Make sure birth control. Make sure you understand birth control. Yo, Rome, that girl was a darn hater, and is giving like she got kicked out at 18. Seahawk Lou moved out at 36, and he did fine. Okay. That is kind of true, though. She kind of did sound like a hater. 23, I don't think 23. I think at 23, you can honestly, if you're working, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If you still live at home, you might still be trying to figure it out at that point. All right. Good morning. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm calling about that. You're saying that list of people that, like, kids leaving and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, like, I think it's this generation, brother, to be honest with you. This new generation, they don't want to leave home.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
I'm just putting it into my perspective. Like, I run a kitchen, and I have, like, 20-plus staff, and I had assumed the majority of my staff was in their early 20s because a lot of them lived with their parents still. Come to find out, they're in their 30s. And that really alarmed me because I was just like, hey, yo, like, 21, I had my first place already. I was kicked out at 18. You know, I didn't have a route back. And I look at these kids, and I ask them, like, hey, so what's your plan? And I'm calling them kids. They're in their 30s, but, like, you know, like, they're living with their parents. Their parents still pay a majority of their bills.
Okay.
I'll ask, like, hey, like, what's your plan? You know, you're in your 30s. What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And I get I don't know. And that's alarming to me.
Well,
like,
do you think that's the majority of people? The majority of 30-year-olds? Is that the majority of kids? I mean, I will tell you this, and I will tell you this because I have a different experience than you do in today's society. In my bubble, I have a different experience. All the kids in my bubble, the 18-year-olds are all moving out to go to college, or they're moving out to go to work or trade school. There's only a couple of them that I know that are staying at home. So that's why I say, do you think that's everybody, or do you think that's just your bubble of people that you see?
I don't want to say everybody, but it's just weird and it's kind of alarming because I came from up north and I had experienced something similar. And then when I came down south, there's another batch that I'm just like, hey, yo, like,
okay.
By 30, you should have a game plan at least. That's just my perspective.
Sure. Okay. That's not bad. That's not. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just wondering. We have to, since we do this show, we have to talk about generalities. You know, we have to appeal to most. You know, we got the majority, the minority of what we're talking about here. Do you think most people are don't know what they're doing, or do you think these kids today are all trying to get out the house? Which one do you think is more popular, staying at home or getting out the house?
Honestly, from my point of view, I think it's staying at home because I don't even see the kids playing outside as much as they used to.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks, brother. Later, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. RD 42547. Good morning, y'all. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ron Seahawk Lou?
What up, Lou?
Hey, Ron, white people gotta lie. I didn't move out of my parents' house at 35.
Oh, they said 36.
Oh, 36?
Yeah.
I moved out at 30, right on the dot, man. And I'm fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not the one saying there's anything wrong with it. We have some hater calling up. She was mad at parents not letting their kids move out at 18, I guess.
Yeah, they gotta let them go, free as a bird. But you know, that's what I think. If they stumble, they could come back to the house. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Absolutely. All right.
Absolutely fair enough.
All right,
man. But I left at 30, and it's okay.
I'll let everybody know. Even those parents live next door. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Romeo, as a parent, I think we've all prepared for this day that we send our kids off, and some of us dread it, some of us look forward to it, but I'll be honest with you, I'm here taking notes. I want to hear some good things that I can add to my list, because I do have a list made
What
up.
do you have on your list now?
Trust your instincts. You know, if you have a bad feeling, follow that instinct. You know, all money is not good money.
Okay.
Call me for anything, just don't call me collect.
Okay. That's funny.
Check your oil, brush your teeth. Don't live above your budget.
Hygiene. Okay.
If you ain't ready to have kids, make sure you wear protection.
Okay.
If it ain't worth going to jail for, don't do it. There's a lot of really important things, you know, that I try to pass on to my kids that were passed on to me. But I'm taking notes, so if any parents got some good ideas, let Raider Dave know.
All right, Dave. That's funny. All right, later.
Okay.
All right. Already 42547-7. Do you moms and dads have a list of things you need to teach your kids before they move out? Or are you just winging it?
What up, Rome?
What up, man?
Hey, you think that there's parents nowadays, this generation that we have right now, that are actually teaching their kids anything before they move out?
Well,
And Bakersfield.
Well, the parents would be the millennials. What millennials would have? Wait, who would have an 18-year-old kid right now? Would a millennial have an 18-year-old kid?
I think so. I mean, I was born in 90. I don't know if that makes me a millennial. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I'm 36. I have a 17-year-old daughter.
Damn, dude, way to not wrap it up.
I know, yeah.
No, I think that you would have the only people that are trying to teach their kids anything are probably Gen X. So you might be right about that. I'm a little fuzzy on how old millennials. I think millennials are now in their 40s, right?
Are they? Millennials was in the 80s, late 80s? Is that it?
No, millennials would be late. When were millennials? I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, you're
I don't
right.
know any about those. Are confusing.
I would say that millennials and are not teaching their kids anything.
I don't know, 100%. I doubt it. I mean, you see everything on current county activity. You see everything going around Bakersfield. They ain't teaching them anything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay.
I think the generation, the up and coming generation, I think they're all doomed. I ain't gonna lie. I think we ain't gonna have we don't got no doctors, lawyers, anything good coming out of it.
No, I think that no, that's not true. Don't be so cynical. No, that's not true. Every generation thinks the next generation, the future generation, is going to ruin the world. Our parents thought we were going to ruin the world. Our parents' thought they were going to ruin the world. So, and we're still going strong. So I know that's.
But look what we did during COVID. Look what we did during what do you call it? What was it? What did we go through? We went through COVID was a big one. How did we treat that?
Well,
we treated
the
World War.
But here's what you're missing. But here's what you're missing. We're still here. We're not still doing it. That's why you think that the things that you think are going to ruin the world, we're not still doing those things. We're not still walking around. If you don't believe in COVID as the way they manipulated the community and societies and manipulated people, if you believe that that's what was really going on, it's not happening right now. So
no,
but that's my point. My point is, whatever you thought or think is going to ruin the world is we're still here. Everybody thinks the next generation is going to be the end of society, and guess what? It's not. You can
we're going to keep on,
and every generation thinks they're better than the next generation, and we're really not. So
I think like the older generations are what was better.
Well,
because we actually had to learn things. We actually had. I mean, I'm not part of the older generation. I'm not an older generation.
Well, yeah, I'm old enough to know before the internet and after the internet.
Yeah,
so
like you're older than me. I'm pretty sure your parents they taught you things that like are important and stuff instead of just sitting on the couch all day, being on TikTok, Instagram, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you got to look at it like this, okay? I can sit there and say, you know what? All these idiot kids are on YouTube and TikTok, but I was on MTV. It's just a different version. It's a different way to get what you want, okay? Now,
but you were still out and about, playing around. You talked about it before.
But had I had an iPad, I probably wouldn't have been, and I'd still be smarter than everybody. But you just got to put everything in a perspective on what's going on. It's not necessarily what you did is not necessarily better than what the next generation is going to do. It's just different. Everybody just wants to think they're better than everybody else, but it's just different. I think I could technically, if I really had to think about it for a second, I think I can compare everything that you think is stupid that these kids are doing today. I think I could tell you what we did back in the day that was equivalent to what they're doing today.
Oh, I'm sure you could. There's a lot of things that we did back in the day that I get what you mean.
So I just think you have to look at it with a little more optimism and less negativity, and thinking that you're so much better than the next generation. Now, you might be smarter from an educational standpoint. That's probably the only thing that you can say, hey, yes, I'm smarter than you. And I tell people I'm smarter than them all the time because I am. But there are people smarter than me. I know people smarter than me. So that may be
always somebody.
That may be the only, and theoretically, these kids today, with all the information and ability that they have to find information, should be far smarter than us, because we have limited resources. They have so many,
everything in the palm of their hand,
and they're still stupid. So, anyway, stop being so negative, brother. Come on.
All right, Romeo.
All right, later. Hey, Rome, how can you honestly say that this generation is not going to ruin the world? They don't know anything. They do stupid things. They are all a bunch of zombies controlled by their phones or the internet or an iPad or something. They all are on TikTok, which is mindless entertainment, and they think they're all going to be superstars. How can you actually say that with a straight face? Because you guys are just wrong. I mean, okay. Here's the thing, okay? And this is the thing you got to understand. If you go back in time, when rock and roll came out, it was going to ruin the world. Rock and roll was going to warp everybody's minds. The world was going to go to hell in a handbasket because of music. And then video games were going to ruin everything. And then television was going to ruin everything. Every single generation thinks they're better than the one that's coming after them. Which is kind of sad, because they're your kids. That you believe your kids are going to ruin the world. They're not. It's not. You guys got to get over that cynicism. You guys got to realize not all these kids. I have a friend, and I haven't seen him in a while, but I make fun of him all the time. I call him half millennial, half man, because he's a very hardworking father, hardworking man. But he's got these stupid millennial ideas. So you can be both. He's both. Very hardworking, has his own house, cars, takes care of a family, knows that that's what's important. But he also has these stupid millennial ideas that we all think are ridiculous. But he balances it. It works for him. Okay? So you guys always think that you think the worst of everybody. You can't think the worst of everybody, because human beings always find a way to survive. Look at and this is the other problem why it's hard to have this conversation with you, is because you guys are too stupid. Your history started 10 years ago. Your history of human beings started with TikTok or with social media. You're too stupid to go get yourself educated and see the big picture. And the big picture is, you don't know what's going to happen. It goes both ways, by the way. The older generation, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where we're headed. You don't know anything. Like my mom doesn't know anything about AI or technology or damn near anything. She's bebopping through life, having a great time, visiting her grandkids, going to the casino. She has no clue where the future is going. I have no clue where the future is going. I have no idea what's going to happen. You have no clue. But yet you want to condemn these next generations for ruining the planet or ruining the world or ruining whatever. Oh my God, we're all going to, But you have no idea what's going to happen. Just as much as kids today have no idea the history to have a little more common sense and understand the world better for them, you have no idea where the world's going. So you can't condemn them. They can't condemn you. You guys are just all a bunch of narcissistic idiots sitting on social media talking about, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. It's not. We're doing just fine. We're still moving along. You know, sometimes it is tougher to be, it's tough to deal with you people sometimes because you guys are wrong. What'd you send me here? He's right, Romeo, when he says too many young people want to be stars instead of getting a trade, some certifications, or even a degree. They rather live and die with social media, and we all know very few that make it. Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. Everybody's trying to be famous. Everybody's trying to be, yeah. But eventually you have to do something else. You know, here's where a lot of you guys are missing the point, though. A lot of these people that are trying to be famous on social media still have jobs. I'm not saying they have careers. I'm saying they have jobs. And I can let's go back to, and you guys might know this for some of you that have ever lived in LA or know, everybody in LA was an actor or an actress or something, right? I'm a screenwriter. Well, okay, then why are you getting me my coffee? Why are you serving my food? If you're a screenwriter or you're an actor, why are you waiting my table? You're not. You're a waitress. Okay, you're a bartender. Now you may become an actor or a screen, but today's society, you are. I have friends. I grew up north, and in my world, in the 90s, a lot of my friends were trying to either become rappers or were in bands. And that was their line. Oh, I'm a rapper. I play drums in a band. No, yeah, you do. But you work over the office supply store. You work at the mall. You work at the whatever. Okay, you're not until you are making a living off being a rapper, being a musician, being an actor. You're whatever it is that pays you. So you get all these idiots out here that say, I'm a social media influencer, I'm a podcaster. No, you got a job, okay? You're a mechanic or you're whatever. And that's what they are until they're not. But you're right. So you guys are a little misguided in what's really going on in the real world. Yo, Romeo, you said people think the kids are going to ruin the world and their own kids, ding, ding. Why don't we raise better kids? And then you'll have a better outlook on the future. Stop gentle parenting and letting your kids walk all over you, and maybe you'll see things differently. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. But the problem is the kids, the parents today aren't much better than the kids. That's the problem. How many times you go into it? How many times you go to a restaurant? How many times you see a family of 4 out and all these idiots are on their phones, not even talking to each other. So you're right. I agree with that. You know? How many times? I mean, people don't even talk anymore. They sit on the couch and watch TV and on their phone at the same time. Or they all sit in the living room together and they're all on their phones at the same time. I have friends that do that. You know, I've said this before. If I invite you over to my house, you're going to sit on your phone, you can leave. You know? So it was funny because I thought about this the other day too. My mom was in town for a few days. And my mom, I've lived in this town for 30 years, 28, 29 years, something like that, right? So I have a life in this town. My mom has a life in this town because she comes to visit. My mom went over to visit friends. When's the last time that's happened? When's the last time you've ever heard somebody go, you know what? I got up to go do something. My mom says, yo, I'm going to go over and visit so-and-so. I'm going to go sit with them for a while and visit. When's the last time you ever heard that? So, yeah. The world's not going anywhere. Everybody relax. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, good morning, Romeo. It's Paulina. How are you? I'm doing great. Romeo, I'm 24. The generation after me and that follows, the majority of them are absolutely cooked. They watch nothing but brain rot content, no attention span whatsoever, barely any type of survival skills, zero common sense, no future, No future lawyers, doctors, engineers, etc. Just straight zombies moving by. Paulina, you're wrong. Lawyers aren't going anywhere unless AI takes their job. Doctors aren't going anywhere because you got to have them, okay? You guys just live in this delusional bubble. You think the internet is real. You think that represents everybody. You know what's funny? I'll tell you something funny about this. I was, you get in these little, your phones get, and it just happened to me, your phones get you on these, algorithms, where if you watch something long enough, you get it all. So I somehow my algorithm got into Kevin Hart. All these comedians talking about the roast, all these people talking about the Kevin Hart roast, right? Not one person in my life, real life, talked to me about the Kevin Hart roast. Not one. And my real life is this radio show. Not even one of you listeners called me and said, hey, Rome, did you watch that Kevin Hart roast? But yet, if you believe what my algorithm says, you believe that nobody's talking about anything else other than the Kevin Hart roast. The internet's not real. And until you understand that, that's what might ruin the world. So I know Father's Day. I'm actually going to do a Father's Day bit. I think we're going to do it over at the Boulevard for you guys. See a little competition with you and your kids against other fathers and their kids. So, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. But Father's Day, it's coming. And a lot of you have great dads, right? And you call your dad for everything. I have my dad, and I don't know why we call him for everything. When's the last time you called your dad for something? Because dads know everything. Dads will show up when you call them. Some of you got husbands that won't do anything, and you got to call your dad to do it. When's the last time you had to do that? Yesterday, I was out practicing golf, and I am 100 times better golfer than my dad. But I was struggling with something, trying to figure it out. Call my dad. Dad, how do I do this? I was having a problem with my putting. I couldn't figure out something with my putting. And so I called hey, Dad, I'm having a problem with this putting. I could output my dad all day long. But my dad had advice because he had read something somewhere. You got to do this with your hand and you should be good. And I don't know if it helped me or not, but it's just crazy. Some of you will talk to your mom every day. It's just more common. But when you call your dad, you usually call your dad when you need something, right? Something needs to be fixed. Something needs this. Something needs that. Call your dad. My husband won't do this. Call your dad. When's the last time you called your dad? Like I said, I just called mine yesterday for something that I don't even know if he could help me with it or not, but I still did it. 424-777. So when's the last time you called your dad for something? And what was it for? All right. So we're talking about calling your dad, right? When's the last time you called your dad? Usually, for the most part, you really only call dad when you need something, right? You call mom to talk and see what's going on in there and everything in the family or how everybody's doing. But you kind of only call dad when you need something, right? And unfortunately, and dads are okay with that. At least good dads are okay with it. They understand. Because most of the time, they don't want to talk to you anyways. They got other stuff to do, right? Alrighty, 4254777. Hey, Romeo, it's funny you're talking about calling dads. On Saturday, my husband and I bought the kids a new playground. Playset, right? You must be talking about a playset, not a playground, a playset, right? My husband called my dad on Sunday morning to help him put it together. And then I had both these fools out back drinking, putting my kids' playset together. It is the best thing ever. The reason I say that is because Romeo, is because I never call my dad for anything. My husband always calls him, and they always end up doing something around the house. Yeah, well, there you go. See, that's what I said. Most dad, normally you call your dad when you need something, right? That's really what you do. Already 4254777. It's the last time you called your dad. What'd you call him for? RD4254707. Father's Day is coming. So I thought I'd talk about calling your dad. Like, what's the last time you called your dad for? RD4254707. Hey, Romeo, it's funny that you said you call your mom to find out information. You call your dad when you need something. I try to call my dad and talk to him about what's going on, how his day is. He always wants to get off the phone. You couldn't be more right about that. Dads only want to talk to you when you need help. They don't really want to talk to you about anything else. I mean, yeah, you're right. Hey, Rome, I know you're talking about dads, but I was hoping you can answer a question for me. I've been dating this woman for a couple of years now, and I want to marry her, but she is divorced, and I met her about a year after she got divorced, and we started dating. And I want to marry her, show her how much I love her, but she says she doesn't want to get married again. I really don't know what to do, Rome. Do you think that means she doesn't want to be with me, or what do you think? I think she just doesn't want to get married right now. I don't think it has anything to do with you at all. You probably, if you've been with her for 2 years, what are you worried about? Her breaking up with you because did you tell her you wanted to get married? And obviously, she's told you she doesn't want to get married. So what's the problem? Just keep dating her. Keep going out with her. You can move your relationship forward without getting married. Maybe she just doesn't want to have that, that commitment. Because for whatever reason, her last marriage has kind of soured her on the idea of getting married again. But then again, she may also change her mind down the road. You never know. So what are you asking me? I'm sure she still loves you. If she's with you for 2 years, I'm sure she still wants to be with you. You're just all up in your feelings now because you want to get married, I wouldn't worry about it. Just keep dating her. What'd you send me here? 8425477. Hey, Romeo, earlier you were talking about what's wrong with this younger generation of kids. That's exactly what's wrong. That guy that just texted you, he's probably some young guy who's in his feelings, who's fell in love with a woman who knows what she wants, and she doesn't want to get married. So now he's going to ruin it because of him. That's what I said, Rome. These kids today are soft. These men don't know what they're doing. He should be excited that she just wants to be with him and marriage is not on the table. That's the problem with these guys today, Rome. They get caught up and feel a certain way, and that's why these men today are weak. Well, okay. Okay. A guy texted me and he said he's been going out with this woman for a couple of years now. I guess she's divorced. And he wants to marry her apparently, but she's told him she doesn't want to get married again. So he doesn't know what to do. Well, nothing. If she said she doesn't want to get married again and you want to marry her, why I don't get it. You gonna leave her because she don't want to get married and you do? You just keep dating her. Just keep going out with her. Keep doing what you do. Eventually, she may either change her mind. She might change her mind. You get with her long enough, and I don't know what that means. Okay. Already 42547. Hey, Rome. If this guy doesn't want to get married, could it be because no, the guy wants to get married. She doesn't want to get married. Did you hear the story? Do you guys pay attention to what I'm talking about? He's dating a woman who's already been married once, and she does not. She says she doesn't want to get married again. All right? Yeah, you guys need to listen a little closer. I know it's summertime, and I know you guys schedules are a little different because the kids don't need to be at school, but yeah, you need to get on board. RD42547. Nah, Rome. A grown man will stand on his values. He should think it through and talk to her and listen to her side. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, if she's been through a marriage and says she doesn't want to get married again, does that mean you're not supposed to go out with her? And because he wants to get married, but he chose to date a woman who told him, I don't want to get married again because I've already been there once. What are we talking about here? It's no big deal. Just keep dating her. Just keep going out with her. You know what's most likely to happen is if you got a good relationship with her, she'll change her mind and want to get married eventually down the road. Why are you rushing it? And why are you so insecure about the fact that dudes are so stupid? Guys get so insecure over the stupidest things. You start dating a woman who's been through a marriage, who told you she don't want to get married, and then when you want to marry her and she doesn't want to get married, all of a sudden your insecurity kicks in like she did something wrong? Bruh, she told you. All right, what'd you send me here? Hey, Rome, gas is too high to be getting married right now. Why? What does gas prices and marriage have to do with anything? I mean, gas is high. Okay, so what does that have to do with getting married? Good morning, now. What's going on?
So, Romeo, how you doing?
Doing great, brother. What's going on?
Hey, yeah, I don't know how their financial situation is, or the fact that she did say that she's already been through it, but let's just say she makes more than him. And she probably went through the marriage, got half her stuff taken away, and she don't want to go through the same experience again. You never know. But, like, I think you're right. With time, if he waits and he proves to her he's valuable, I think she'll change her mind. She'll change her mind. Every woman is bipolar for the most part.
Oh, my God.
They change their mind. They change their mind, man. They change their mind. But everybody could change their mind. Nothing's permanent. That's what I'm mainly trying to say. Nothing's ever permanent. But, yeah, I think it's just a bad experience. She probably had a bad experience, and he just needs to be patient, bro. I stick with you, man. Be patient, and then it'll work out.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.